Paulo Costa versus Luke Rockhold. Great fight, unbelievable action, back and forth, just a great display of heart, will, determination, grit, whatever you want to call it. It was sensational. The altitude really does affect things, and you can see it on Luke. He was absolutely exhausted. We've never seen him that tired before in a fight. However, he continued to push on. He continued to press the action. He continued to entertain everybody. That crowd was going absolutely ballistic, and I'm not surprised. I mean, remember that bit? I think it was in the third round. Rockhold just couldn't do anything else. He's on top of him. Costa's got his arms tied up. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to rub my blood all over your face. It was absolutely disgusting in the best possible way. Yeah, Rockhold was tired when he got back on the feet. He was backing up, but he'd still land a big, powerful left hand, throwing his left signature high kicks, of course. We had great pressure from Paulo Costa. So obviously it takes two to tango, you know, but Paulo Costa was the victor, so congratulations to him. But it was after the fight. It was after the fight with Luke Rockhold when he got very emotional and revealed more of his true character, I think, than what he has done in the past there. I think he won over a lot of fans. But as I say, Saturday night when the fight was done, when the dust had settled, we saw from Luke Rockhold a look into him. You pulled back the curtain, you got to see the real Luke, and he was very emotional, you know, and rightly so. You know, you go in there into the octagon, you put your heart and soul into it, you try your goddamn best, and you come up short, and it's not enough. And I thought it was really real. I thought it was honest. I thought it was very it was emotional. It was seeing him like that, getting upset. You know, I've been there myself. I remember when I fought Anderson Silva. You know, I was almost, well, I was in tears after that, because you pour so much into it. You literally, it's not just a physical thing, it's a mental thing, it's an emotional thing. You're fighting for your life kind of in there. Of course, you're not going to die and the referee's going to step in, but it feels like that. It's so visceral and animalistic. You know what I mean? You are emptying the tank that you have in every single way possible. And that's why we saw him the way it was. And then also the realization that he's at the end. He's at the end of the road. And for fighters, you know, that's a tough thing to accept. It's who they are. It defines them as a person. They do it for so long. They are so single-minded. They put everything into that. And then to suddenly think, oh, wow, that was it. I thought I was going to come into this fight. I thought I was going to be a winner. And now here I am. And I'm actually retiring. And I never saw that coming. Maybe he knew about that. Maybe he knew if he didn't win, he would retire. And who knows? Maybe if it wasn't at elevation, he would have won that fight, because I thought he gave a really good account of himself. But yeah, just seeing him get all emotional made me think, I've got to do a video about this guy. You know, Luke, I do believe he's underappreciated by a lot of people. You know, the run that he had, the career that he had, a Strikeforce champion, UFC champion, always a top contender, always in big fights, always took on the best challenges. I mean, look at that. He just came back after 3 years of being away and took on Paulo Costa, one of the toughest guys in the division, one of the top guys, one of the hardest hitting, and one of the hardest hitting with the best chins. There's not a lot of people that are queuing up to take on that guy when they've been out of the octagon for 3 years.
I don't know that I know of anybody more unaware of what's around them than Luke Rockhold. Luke made this week fun. Luke made tonight fun. When you talk about the greatest middleweights of all time, now anytime we have that conversation, we never have that, do we? We say we're having it, we're saying we're having the greatest of all time, we never do. We have a resume conversation. If you want to have who the greatest middleweight of all time is, it might be Luke Rockhold. Truly. The Luke Rockhold that defeated Chris Weidman, I'm not convinced there has been a middleweight yet that can beat him. And maybe there is. I'm telling you, I'm not convinced. That's how good Luke is. When I talk about Luke not being aware, Luke's never been a higher demand. Luke is a star. Luke was a star coming into tonight. Luke arguably was the biggest star on the card. He got more questions at the press conference. He commanded more time at the media. That's a damn good focus group. You get everybody else up there, who's getting the attention, right? It's one of those things. He might be. I would never be more excited to hear from Luke, to see from Luke, to get to know Luke, and to watch Luke than I am tonight. He doesn't know. He didn't know it was a great performance. He retired. We have to take that back. There's never a time we've wanted to see Luke more.